Hello everyone, a warm welcome to today's session. So today let us discuss CPJE paper, that is on relation and function, paper 2. We have already discussed paper 1 in the previous video. So today we are going to discuss paper 2 on relation and functions. Okay, you already have the soft copy with you, that is I have already sent the previous week of relation and functions paper 2. So let us discuss the question one by one. Look at the first one there. It's given if R is equal to ordered by x comma y such that x comma y belongs to integer. Okay, x and y belongs to integer and x square plus y square is less than or equal to 4. X square plus y square is less than or equal to 4. Is the relation in I. Okay, this is the relation. The domain of R is. The question is, what is the domain of this relation? So before writing the domain, let us see what is the relation is. So R will be equal to, so look here, I have to substitute x and y as an integer. I have to select only the integers and that integer should be such a way that it should be less than or equal to 4. Look here, whatever values I can put in the place of x and y, so that square of that value, sum of square of those values is less than or sometimes equal to also 4. So let us put, what if I put x equal to 0? If I put x equal to 0 and y equal to 0, 0 square plus 0 square is 0 and 0 is less than 4, right? So I can substitute 0, 0. Okay, next. What if I put x as 1, minus 1 or plus 1? Does not make any difference because by the square it becomes positive. So if I put x as 1 or plus 1 or minus 1 and y as 0, what will I get? 1 square is 1 or minus 1 square is also 1 plus 0 square is 0. So 1 plus 0 will be 1 and 1 is also less than 4. So I can even write plus or minus 1, 0. Okay, next. What if I put in the place of x plus or minus 2? Plus 2 square or minus 2 square. Both are equal to 4. And if I put y as 0, I'll get 4 plus 0, which is 4. According to the given condition, it can be less than or equal to 4 also. So I can even substitute x as plus or minus 2 and y as 0. Okay. Similarly, can I put x as plus or minus 3? If I put 3, it will become 9. And if I put y as 0, 9 plus 0 is 9 and 9 will be greater than 4. So I can substitute the value 0, in the place of x I can substitute 0, 1, 2, minus 1, minus 2. Not more than that, because if I put 3 or minus 3, its square will be 9 and this condition will not satisfy. Okay, similarly, I can even put x as 0, y as plus or minus 1, y as plus or minus 1, or x as 0, y as plus or minus 3. Okay, that's it. This is the relation. 0 square plus 1 square is also 1, that is less than 4. 0 square plus 2 square, which will be 4 and that is equal to 4. I cannot put 3. Okay, so this would be the relation. But the question is, we need to find the domain. So the domain will be, know the definition of the domain. Domain is set of collection, set of all the first element of the ordered pair. If we write all the elements, first element of the ordered pair, the set, that will be the domain. So domain here will be the set of all the first element of the ordered pair of the relation. You know the definition, you have studied. And range is the set of all second element of the ordered pair of the relation, not something else, of the relation. So the first element will be 0. Here plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, 0 is already written So this can be even written as minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1 and 2. So here the answer is third option. Second one. Second one, f of x is given and that is x cube minus 1 divided by x cube. Okay. Now the question is they have to find f of x plus f of 1 by x. I need to find the sum of f of x plus f of 1 by x. Okay. So first, f of x we already know. Let us write what is f of 1 by x. So, f of 1 by x will be, see if f of x is given and if I want to find f of 2, what will I do? In the place of x I put 2, that's it. This would be 2 cube minus 1 divided by 2 cube, right? If I want f of 3, in the place of x I write 3. You know how to substitute, okay? But here, what I want is f of 1 by x. Okay, I want 1 by x. So, in the place of x, I substitute 1 by x. So, f of 1 by x will be, in the place of x, I will write 1 by x, the whole cube. Okay, if it is 2, 2 cube. If it is y cube. If it is 0, 0 cube. Here I am having 1 by x, so 1 by x the whole cube. Okay. Minus 1 divided by that 1 will not change. Only this x will change because in the place of x I have 1 by x. So in the place of x I am writing 1 by x and I have the cube of that cube. Okay. Next you see. This is 1 cube is 1 only. 1 divided by x cube minus 1 divided by 1 cube is 1 x cube. 1 divided by x cube. Now here this x cube will go to the numerator. So 1 divided by 1 by x cube will be x cube. So this would be x cube. Okay, I know f of x. I got f of 1 by x. This is f of 1 by x. Now I can easily find this. In the place of f of x, you write x cube minus 1 divided by x cube, which is already given, and here I have plus sign, so write plus, and f of 1 by x is here, just write that. F of 1 by x is 1 divided by x cube minus x cube. Okay, so let us see what is the answer here. Plus x cube minus x cube cancels. Also, minus 1 by x cube plus 1 by x cube cancels. So the answer will be 0. Option 3, 0. We go to the third one. If not yet, pause and rewind. I'll go to the next one. We need to find the domain of the function f of x is equal to 1 divided by root of x square minus x, when greatest integer x square minus greatest integer x minus 6. Okay. Similar kind of problem I have added in the first paper. There the difference is, it's only f of x is greatest integer x minus some equation I have written there. Here it's a little bit different. It's 1 divided by this. So if I solve this, you can easily make out how to do that now. So look here. Now, domain and range. Okay. Now the question is to find domain. Now what is that domain? I have already told you in the previous session also. Domain is what value we can substitute in the place of x such that f of x is defined. Range is defined. X is domain. No, x is domain. F of x is range. Right? F of x is y. Y is value I can substitute in the place of x such that y was defined. Y should be defined. Okay. So that is the domain and range. Now looking at this, the question is to find the domain. Look here. What values I can substitute in the place of x so that f of x will be some real number, not something else. It is a real number. Okay, it's defined and it's a real number. So, I have already told you in the previous session, if I get 1 divided by 0, it's not defined. Okay, this value is not defined, undetermined form. Also, if I get 0 by 0, even this is not defined, undetermined form. But if it is 0 divided by any number, it is 0. 0 divided by any number is 0. 1 divided by 0 or any number divided by 0 is not defined. 0 by 0 is also not defined. Okay. So these two are undetermined form. Now looking at this problem, you can easily make out the denominator should not be equal to 0. Why? What happens if the denominator is 0? 1 divided by 0, not defined. So make a note of that. Denominator should not be equal to 0. Also, one more thing I do. Whenever we get negative value inside the square root, okay, even that is undetermined form. Actually, it comes under complex number, root of all those things. But here, now it's undetermined. It's not, the value is not defined. Whenever I have negative value inside the square root, once again it is not defined. So, what I do avoid here is, in the denominator I have square root and inside I have one equation. So, this equation should not be equal to negative. It can be equal to 0. Okay, if I have just like x square minus x minus x, this can be equal to 0, but it should not be negative. If it is negative, square root of negative is not defined. But whenever I have 1 divided by root of something, the denominator, this thing should not be equal to 0 also. Why? If this is equal to 0, root of 0 is 0. And 1 divided by 0 not defined. I hope you are understanding what I am telling. So, look here. 1 divided by 0 is not defined. So, the denominator should not be equal to 0. Okay. Also, inside the square root, if I get negative value, once again it is not defined. So, I have to be careful in two things here. That is, this thing should not be negative. Also, that should not be equal to 0 also. The reason is 1 divided by something I have. 1 divided by that equation I have. 1 divided by 0 is also not defined. So, from that, it's clear that f of x is defined. F of x is defined if this one, that is greatest integer x square minus greatest integer x minus x is greater than 0. Okay, it is defined only when this is positive. If this is negative, square root of negative is not defined. If it is 0, 1 divided by 0 is not defined. Okay. For that reason, this should be positive. Then only f of x is defined. Okay. So this thing you must make a note of that. First, now let us find what is domain for this. Okay. So for time being, take this as x only. Greatest integer x, let us take it as x only. X minus x minus 6, x square minus x minus 6 is equal to 0. If I factorize, what will I get as? See, minus 6 and minus 1, so the value will be 3, 2, minus 3 plus 2. So how can I write it as x square? Okay, I get x minus 3, x plus 2 is equal to 0 if I factorize. Okay, if I factorize x square minus x minus 6 equal to 0, I get x minus 3 and x plus 2. Okay, but since here I have greatest integer, what I am getting here is, look here, greatest integer x minus 3 is one term. The other one is greatest integer x plus 2. And what I have? Greater than 0. And I have greater than 0. I hope this is clear. Just factorize this. Take it as x, factorize. We'll get x minus 3, x plus 2 is equal to 0. But here I have greater than 0. But in the place of x, you are writing greatest integer x. Only that is the difference. Now let us solve. If it is 0, no problem. You know what to do. X is greatest integer x is 3. Greatest integer x is minus 2. You can easily write. But look here, I have greater than 0. I have greater than 0. So when can I tell product of two terms is positive? When can I tell A into B is greater than 0? Either A is also positive and B is also positive, then product is positive. That is my case. Or A is also negative, B is also negative. Negative into negative, positive. So here I get two cases. Okay. So here two cases will arise. So what is that as? One is this is positive, this is positive. Positive into positive, so that is greater than 0. That is will be positive. Or this is negative, this is negative. This is less than 0, this is less than 0. Then also it is greater than 0. That will become positive. So total two cases will arise here. One is greatest integer x minus 3 is greater than 0 and greatest integer x plus 2 is greater than 0. Or greatest integer x minus 3 is less than 0. This is less than 0 and greatest integer x plus 2 is less than 0. Understood? A into B is positive if A is positive, B is positive, or A is negative, B is negative. Then also it's positive. Negative is positive. So I'm getting two cases here. So let us see one more method is there. I'll tell that also. First let us discuss this. So here if I solve this plus minus, if I shift this side, what will I get as greatest integer x is greater than 3. Okay, 3 will be shifted here and here greatest integer x is greater than minus 2. Plus 2 you shift here, it becomes minus 2. Okay, and that if I solve, greatest integer x is less than 3. That 3 you shift that side, minus 2 becomes plus 3 and greatest integer x is less than minus 2. Plus 2 you shift that side, it becomes minus 2. Okay, now I'll rub this. I hope this is clear. This is I got by factorizing. So I didn't get equal to 0. I got greater than 0. So I have written two cases. What are those two cases? A is positive, B is positive. Then A into B is positive. Or A is negative, B is negative. Then their product is positive. Two chances are there. Now let us draw the number line so that I can make out which is the common shaded region for this. Okay. Now this thing I am writing about. Now x greater than 3 and greatest integer x greater than minus 2. So if I draw the number line, this is infinity and this is minus infinity. This side negative values, that side positive values. So x is 3 and minus 2, two values I have. Minus is somewhere here and 3 is here. Okay. Now look here. Greatest integer x is greater than 3. Greater than 3 means this side. Excluding 3, greater than 3. Excluding 3. So whole of that. 3 is not included. Greater than 3. So if I put 3, you know what happens? That becomes 0. 0, not defined, you know. So greater than 3 greatest integer x is greater than minus 2. Greater than minus 2. Minus 2 is not included. Greater than minus 2. So which region is shaded twice here? Which one? 3 to infinity. So greatest integer x belongs to open interval 3 to infinity. Okay. Open interval 3. 3 is not included. And this is greatest integer. Open interval 3 to infinity. And if I draw the number line for this is minus infinity, plus infinity, and around minus 2 and 3. Look here. Greatest integer x is less than 3. Less than 3 means excluding 3, less than 3. Okay. Greatest integer x less than minus 2. Excluding that minus 2, less than minus 2. Okay. Less than minus 2. Now which region is shaded twice? Minus infinity to open interval 2. Okay, so here from this interval x belongs to open interval minus infinity to open interval 2. Okay, so the answer would be union of these two. But this is greatest integer. Okay, we are solving for greatest integer. You know the meaning of greatest integer? It assumes a value of x which is just less than or equal to x. Less than. See, if you draw the number line, so 0, 1, 2, 3, minus 1, minus 1, and so on. Greatest integer will be minus 1 for value including minus 1 to not 0, just less than 0. Okay. The value, greatest integer will be 0 for all the values which is greater than or equal to 0 but less than 1. You know that, I have drawn the graph also. Okay, up till 0.99999, greatest integer will be 0. But for 1, it's 1. For 1.9999 also, the greatest integer is 1. So this one, previous value, it assumes a value which is just less than. The name is greatest integer, but it assumes a value which is less than. Just you are writing the previous value, which is less than or equal to. Okay. Now look here. Looking at the options, see the options which will satisfy here. One is minus infinity to minus 2. No, even this is there because I got two cases. This and this. You know how did I get two cases? Okay, for greater than 0. I got two cases. So only this will not be the answer. So first option is wrong. See the second option. Minus infinity to minus 2 union. It's given 4 to infinity. Can I write close interval 4 to infinity? Yes, I can write. The reason is here I have greatest integer. Greatest integer means x belongs to. Greatest integer x belongs to 3 to infinity means only x will belong to close interval 4 to infinity. I can write that because here I have greatest integer. Greatest integer means greatest integer open interval 3 will be 4. Okay, so x belongs to 4. I hope it's clear. X belongs to 4 to infinity, and here x belongs to minus infinity to minus 2. Okay, so union of that will be the second option. Minus infinity to minus 2 union 4 to infinity. Okay, even third option is not correct, even fourth. So second is correct option. I hope this is clear. If not clear, please you can verify with me. Okay. We'll move on to the next one. That is the fourth one. The domain of the function f of x equal to root of cos x. Okay, the question is to find domain of the function. So this is trigonometry function. So you have studied trigonometry. You know the domain and range of all the 6 different trigonometry functions. So sine, cos, tan, cot, all you have drawn the graph also. So you know the domain and range. Now, and also you know the domain and range. What is domain and range? What possible value we can put for x so that f of x is defined. Okay. So here I have root of cos x, not only cos x. See, if the question was f of x equal to cos x and the question is what is the domain? Domain would be all real numbers, right? And range is, the question is to find domain, okay? And the range is minus 1 to 1. You know, for sine and cos, the range is minus 1 to 1. The value will, you have drawn the graph, right? The value will not exceed 1 and the value will not exceed minus 1. That is the range. And domain is all real numbers. Cos is defined for any real number, right? Okay. So you know that. But here I have root of cos x. Okay. For cos x you have done in theory class, you know. But whenever I have root of cos x, be little careful. F of x is defined. When f of x is defined or f of x is real, only when cos x is greater than or equal to 0. Right? What happens if cos x is negative? Root of negative. Root of negative is not defined. Since I have root of cos x should not be negative. I hope it's clear. I can get the value of cos x as negative because the range is minus 1 to plus 1. There are negative values, but I want only positive value for root of cos x. The reason is root of negative value is not defined. So the condition to define the domain here is f of x is defined only if cos x is greater than or equal to 0. Now you already know cos x value lies between minus 1 and 1. Know that. Okay. But comparing to this, what can we make out as here in this particular problem? For f of x equal to cos x, domain is all real numbers, range is minus 1 to 1. But for this particular problem, what happens is cos x is greater than or equal to 0. Okay? Because cos x should be greater than or equal to 0. Also it is less than or equal to 1. Okay? It's not exceeding 1. It's greater than 0 and it's not exceeding 1 also. You know, whatever value if we substitute in the place of x, cos of any value will not exceed 1 and not exceed minus 1. Since I have root, it's between 0 and 1. I hope it's clear. Because negative value inside the root is not defined. Okay, so cos x, for root cos x, the cos x value lies between 0 and 1. For cos x, it lies between minus 1 and 1. Okay. Now look here. Cos x is positive. Okay. You know in this 4 quadrants, cos is positive. You know this is 0. This is pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2. Afterwards I will 2 pi. Okay. Cos is positive in first and fourth quadrant. Okay. So in first and fourth quadrant only the value lies between 0 and 1. But in these 2 quadrants the value will be negative. Okay. Because in second and third quadrant cos is negative. So your answer here would be 1 is 0 to pi, first quadrant. 0 to pi by 2. Cos is positive, I mean the cos value lies between 0 and 1. Union and the union also 3 pi by 2 to 2 pi. 3 pi by 2 to 2 pi. In fourth quadrant, okay? From fourth quadrant also it is positive. So looking at the option, fourth option is correct. Not only first option, only first option also it's not correct. Not only second option, it's the union of first and second option. Because in these 2 quadrants, cos is positive. I mean it's greater than 0, less than 1. So fourth option. Next you see, we need to find the range of y is equal to sine of greatest integer x, where x lies between minus pi by 4 to pi by 4. So I have done one mistake there. While giving the print, I have given pi by 2. Just make it pi by 4. Okay, I'm sorry. It should be minus pi by 4 to plus pi by 4. Okay, while I have given the print, it was given pi by 2. Sorry, just make a change. It's minus pi by 4 to plus pi by 4. Where this is the greatest integer, you know. Okay, less than or equal to x. So what is the range for this? I need to find the range for this. You know the range for sin x. You know the range for sin x. What is the range? Sin x also lies between minus 1 and 1. Okay, and domain is all real numbers. In the place of x, you can put any real number. You know the graph also. You have drawn the graph also, right? You have drawn the graph. Okay, it's defined for all real numbers and the value lies between minus 1 and 1. Okay, but here it's for sine greatest integer x, and you know what is greatest integer x? It assumes a value which is just less than or equal to the given number x. Now, before I start, this range is given for x. Let us see for greatest integer x what would be the range. Okay. Now look here. Pi by 4. Let us see what is the, since it is given greatest integer, let us see what is the decimal value of that pi by 4. Okay. Now pi is 22 by 7 divided by 4. So which would be 7 into 4, or that will be 22 divided by 28. And the value will be 0 point something. You know, if it is 0.1, 0. Top till 0.9 also no problem. Since I put greatest integer, it would be the previous value. So I don't want the exact value, but you can calculate it. Say 28 divided by 22. 0. So if I write 8, I'll get 224. So it's approximately 7. So that I get something 196. Okay. If I put 8, I get 224. So approximately 0.7. Okay. I am not telling you to write 0.7 also. If you write 0.6 also, however, your answer will be correct because we are using greatest integer x. Greatest integer x means it assumes the integer, previous integer. Okay, so it would be what? It is 0. Pi by 4 is 0.7 approximate value. 0.7, 0.472, whatever it is, I'm using greatest integer. Okay. So this x lies between minus 0.7 and plus 0.7. Okay. Now what I do is, I split into two parts. Since I have one integer between 0.7 and 0, I have 0 no, between that. So I divide it into two parts. Look here, minus 0.7 less than x less than 0. Okay. And the other part is 0 less than x less than 0.7. What I have done is, I have splitted this minus 0.7 like x lying between minus 0.7 and plus 0.7. I have splitted it into x lying between minus 0.7 and 0 and x lying between 0 and plus 0.7. Okay. Now look here. But I want greatest integer x, not for x. The range is given for x, but I want for greatest integer x. So I'll put greatest integer for this one. So greatest integer x will be greater than greatest integer 0.7 less than greatest integer 0. Okay, here also I'll put greatest integer 0 less than greatest integer x less than greatest integer 0.7. I had x, but I want for greatest integer x. Okay. Now, what is greatest integer 0.7? Greatest integer minus 0.7. See, minus 0.7 is somewhere here, right? Which would be the greatest integer for that? Minus 1, which assumes the value just less than or equal to the given number, less than. Okay, so it is minus 1. So for greatest integer minus 0.1, it's minus 1. Greatest integer is minus 1 less than, this thing I write as it as greatest integer x less than greatest integer 0. For greatest integer 0, it is 0 only, which assumes the value less than or equal to also. So for 0, it is 0. Okay, now look here. Greatest integer, which is greater than minus 1 and less than 0. Which is the greatest integer? Greatest integer x will be, which is the greatest integer for x, which is greater than minus 1 and less than 0. Greatest integer will be the value which is less than or equal to the given number. So it will be minus 1. Okay. But what I want? Sign greatest integer x. See here, greatest integer x will be minus 1. But I want sign greatest integer. So sign of greatest integer x will be sign of minus 1. What is sign of minus theta? It is minus sin theta. So this will be minus sin 1. Minus sin 1 is one of the value, one of the range. And here let us solve. Greatest integer 0 is 0 less than greatest integer x less than greatest integer 0.7. Which would be the greatest integer for 0.7? Which is the previous value, that is 0. 0 will be the greatest integer for 0.7. So here, greatest integer which is greater than 0 less than 0 is 0 only. Okay, but what I want? Sign greatest integer x. I want sign 0. And what is sign 0? 0. Okay. So I got two range. Which are those two? One is 0. Exactly two values I am writing inside the set. When all the real numbers and all are represented, they use intervals and all. Here I just got two values for this range. Minus 45 to plus 45. I just got two values. One is 0. The other one is minus sin 1. Will be the answer. So fourth option is correct. Okay, here fourth option. See, sign of minus 1. How did you get minus 1? Greatest integer x is minus 1. And sign of minus 1 is minus sin 1. Sign of minus theta is sin theta. Minus sin theta. Cos of minus theta is just cos theta. We will move to the next one. If not here, please you can verify with me, or else you can rewind and see once again. Look here, sixth one. Range of, we need to find range of cos greatest integer x into pi. Okay, simple process. Look here. You know what is the greatest integer x? It assumes the only integers, right? So whatever value that greatest integer x can carry, it can be 0. Yes, it can be 0. It can be plus or minus 1. It can be plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3 and so on. Because that is greatest integer. It does not assume any of the decimal fractions and all. It only assumes the integers. Okay, so it can take these values. Now let us see. Let us put one more values and see what will I get the range as. What is range? Domain is what value I can put for x so that f of x is defined. And what value I get for f of x is a range. See, let us see what value I get for f of x. Domain is all those. I can put those numbers. Okay. Now what I am getting applying these numbers will be the range. Okay. So let us see what is the range here. So cos greatest integer x can be 0. So 0 into pi, which is 0. That will be cos 0. What is cos 0? 1. So 1 can be the range. Let us see some other values also I can get. Cos plus or minus 1 into pi will be pi. And you know one more thing. Cos of minus theta is same as cos theta. Plus or minus. If one and the same. Okay, and you know the graph of cos theta is a mirror image of each other. Okay, so if you want this, I'll draw once. This is 0, 1, minus 1, pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi, 5 pi by 2, 3 pi, and so on. Here also minus pi by 2, minus pi, minus 3 pi by 2, and so on. So for cos 0 it is 1, cos 90 is 0, cos pi is minus 1, cos 3 pi by 2 is 0, so you get a graph like this. Right? And exactly this one will be the mirror image of that. Just if you try to fold it, you will get the same graph here. So look here, like this. Right? So cos of minus theta is cos theta. And one more thing, you know this fourth quadrant, no? The first and fourth quadrant. And first and fourth quadrant cos us positive. Right? So sign of minus theta. Minus theta will come to fourth quadrant, which will be cos theta. So I am not going to once again write minus plus. Cos of plus theta, cos of minus theta is cos theta only. Okay? So cos pi. What is cos pi? Cos pi is minus 1. Okay. Next cos, I can put plus or minus 2. Plus or minus 2 pi. If I put 2 into pi, 2 pi. Which is cos 2 pi only. Plus cos plus 2 theta minus plus 1 and the same. So what is cos 2 pi? 2 pi is 1. So what did I get? 1 minus 1, 1. I didn't get 0. Look here, let us see for some other value. Cos plus or minus 3 pi. For 3 pi, for plus 3 pi, for minus 3 pi is 1 and the same. They are mirror image. For 3 pi, cos 3 pi is minus 1. So whatever integer I substitute, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it will be plus 1, minus 1, plus 1, minus 1. I never got 0. Look here. For 0 it is 1. For pi it is minus 1. For 2 pi it is minus 1, plus 1. For 3 pi it is minus 1 and so on. For 0, pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, every time I am getting 1, minus 1, 1, minus 1. I never got 0. So what is the range? If you check for some other values also, it is 1 and minus 1. Therefore range will be just 2 values, only 2 values. 1, minus 1, 1, minus 1, only 2 values. I am not getting any of the value in between. Okay? Just 2 values, minus 1 and 1. Yes. So your answer is third one. Okay, third one. See, just going before solving 7 and 8, and do that 9th one. Very similar problem like this. Okay? Very similar problem. So I am doing the 9th one now. 9th one. Here the question is, I am not going to draw the graph. This will help me once again. What I have is cos pi. Only the difference is by 2 is there. By 2. Okay, there I just had pi into greatest integer x. Here by 2 is there. So you know once again, greatest integer x carries the value 1 is 0, plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3, and so on. Because greatest integer, only integer it takes. Okay, here, if I put x equal to 0, if I put a greatest integer x is equal to 0, what will I get as cos 0 into pi? 0, 0 divided by something is 0. And what is cos 0? 1. So I can get 1. If I put greatest integer x as plus or minus 1. Plus or minus 1 I am putting together because cos of minus theta is cos theta. It does not make any difference. So cos pi by 2 I am going to get. Plus pi by 2, minus pi by 2. Plus pi by 2, minus pi by 2. Same values. They are mirror image. So plus minus is 1 and the same. I am not writing it again and again. If you want to write here, cos of minus pi by 2. Now let us check for the other one. Greatest integer x as plus or minus 2. If I put plus or minus 2, what will I get as cos 2 into pi by 2. 2 will cancel. I am going to get plus or minus pi. Okay. What is cos pi? Minus 1. I am getting minus 1. Or cos minus pi is also minus 1. Next, I put the next value, that is, I'll put 3 now. Greatest integer x, if I put plus or minus 3, I'll get cos plus or minus 3 pi by 2. 3 pi by 2. What is 3 pi by 2? Once again, 0. So one thing you remember, for pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, 5, look at the graph. For pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, 5 pi by 2 and all, it is 0. For pi, 3 pi, 5 pi, 7 pi, odd multiples of pi. Pi, 3 pi, 5 pi and all, I am getting minus 1. And for 2 pi, 4 pi, 0, 2 pi, 4 pi, 6 pi and all, I am getting plus 1. For odd, minus 1. For even, plus 1. For pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, 5 pi by 2 and all, 0, 0, 0. So if you try like this, sometimes I am getting 1, sometimes I am getting 0, minus 1 and so on. Once again I will get 1, 0, minus 1. So what would be the range? What would be the range here? Range will be 0, minus 1, 0 and 1. I am not getting any of the values in between. Sometimes 0, sometimes 1, minus 1 and so on. So third option is correct. So make a note here only. Based on cos. So you know, for pi, 3 pi, 5 pi and all, it is minus 1. Once again I am not going to do the graph. For 0, 2 pi, 4 pi, 6 pi and all, it is plus 1. Tenth one will do now. Sixth one. Sixth one and the seventh one. Okay, look at the seventh one. F of x is equal to cos pi square x plus cos of greatest integer. Okay, greatest integer pi square x, where x stands for greatest integer. I have to check which option is correct. Before I go to the options, see, look at the options. I want f of pi by 2, f of pi, f of minus pi, all those things. So f of x is given. I try to rewrite what is that f of x, that pi square minus pi square, somewhat greatest integer means I cannot make out. So pi square means what is that number, let us see, so that I can easily write what is greatest integer of that number. Okay. F of x is equal to cos, you know the value of pi, which is 3.14 something. So what would be pi square? Okay, it would be 9.8 something, or whatever it is. 9 point, you know, it's not 10. It's not 10. 9.14 into 9.14. It's 9 point something. What point? Limit. Because where you say greatest integer, it assumes the previous integer. Okay. So I'll assume it as somewhat 9.8. Okay. Pi square is 9.8 x plus cos of greatest integer minus 9.8 x. Okay. Look here. I can write this as cos. What is greatest integer? 9.8. It assumes the previous value. So previous value will be 9x. Plus cos, what is greatest integer for minus 9.8? It assumes the previous value, which is minus 10. So this will be minus 10 into x. And you know, cos of minus theta is cos theta. Okay. So this will become cos 9x plus cos 10x. Okay. And what is this? F of x. First we solve f of x. Okay, so write it in a simple simplified form so that one options we can check which is correct. Let us check with the first option now. That is f of pi by 2. 1 minute. You make a note of this. I am going to write this here. So f of x became cos 9x plus cos 10x. Pause the video. Previous one you make a note. I need a space, so I am rubbing this. Okay, we'll check for the first option. F of pi by 2. In the place of x, I have to put pi by 2 and see. So cos 9 pi by 2 plus cos 10 pi by 2. Okay. 10 pi by 2 means 10 divided by 2 will be 5 pi. So this will be cos 9 pi by 2 plus cos 5 pi. And previous problem I have told you, you have seen the graph of that cos. For pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, 5 pi by 2, 7 pi by 2, 9 pi by 2, what value we got repeatedly? We got 0. So this will be 0 plus, and for pi, 3 pi, 5 pi, 7 pi and all, we got minus 1. Minus 1. So 0 minus 1 will be minus 1. So f of pi by 2 is minus 1. No, in the option I have plus 1. So first option is wrong. Go to the second one. Second one is f of pi. Let us see what is f of pi, which will be cos 9 pi plus cos 10 pi. In the place of x you put pi. Now what is cos 9 pi? For all multiples it is minus 1 plus for cos 2 pi, 4 pi, 10 pi and all, it is plus 1. So minus 1 plus 1 is 0. What I have in the option, f of pi is 1. So second option is also not wrong. It should be 0. So second option is also wrong. We will go to the third option. So what is third option? F of minus pi. Let us see what is f of minus pi. So cos of 9 into minus pi plus cos 10 into minus pi. What will I get? Cos of minus theta is cos theta. This will be cos 9 pi plus cos 10 pi. Cos of minus theta will become cos theta only. So you know once again, for 9 pi it is minus 1 and for 10 pi it is plus 1. And here it should be 0 and f of minus pi is 0. So third option is correct. Okay, I hope it's clear. Many problems under greatest integer. First you must know what is that greatest integer correctly. Easily you can solve. If you want to go through that fourth option also, it will not satisfy. Okay. We'll do the eighth one now. The domain for f of x is equal to 1 divided by root of x minus 1. Simple problem. 1 divided by 0 not defined, and inside the square root if it is negative value it is not defined. So f of x is defined only if x minus 1 is just greater than 0. Not greater than or equal to also. What if it is greater than or equal to 0? I am getting root of 0. Root of 0 is 0. 1 divided by 0 will not be defined. Okay, whenever I have 1 divided by root of something, that denominator is always greater than 0. It will not be equal to 0. Okay, so from this x is greater than 1. And the question is to find domain. Domain is what possible value we can put for x. So that f of x is defined. So x greater than 1. Now if you look at the option, greater than 1 means it does not include 1. It's just greater than 1. It can be 1.001 something, but not 1. So it's open interval 1, not closed interval, because greater than 1, and it goes on. Greater than 1 means it goes up till infinity. Okay, second option. Ninth one we have done. 10th one we do. 10th one. Look here. the domain, once again, the domain of the function f of x is equal to 1 divided by root of x minus mod x. Last paper also some of them had doubt here. Whenever we have modulus, some students will be confused here. First, analyze the definition of mod. What is mod x? What is the definition? Definition tells that mod x is x for x greater than 0. For all the positive value of x, okay? Mod x, f of x is mod x. Okay, this is f of x. Range is mod x. And for all, greater than or equal, I can even write for zeros. For x less than 0 means it takes a value -1, -2, -1.5. For this domain, the range is mod x, it is positive. For mod of minus value, it is plus. Mod of plus positive values also, it is positive only. Okay, this is the definition. This, no confusion here, I guess. What value I substitute in the place of x, f of x will be positive. Okay. Now looking up, what I have is x minus mod x. Okay, let us see what is this x minus mod x. Let us write in definition form. What if x is greater than or equal to 0? What if it is x is positive or sometimes 0? Imagine this one. 1 minus mod 1, which is 0, right? X minus x. This would be x minus x, and that is 0. For x greater than or equal. For all the positive value, for all the positive real numbers, x minus mod x is 0. If you put 2.7 minus mod 2.7. Mod 2.7 is 2.7. 2.7, 0. So for any positive number or even for 0, it is 0. Let us check for x less than 0. For negative, it becomes x minus of minus x. Right? X less than 0 means this will be minus x. So this will become 2x. Okay. So this is the definition of x minus mod x. But I will apply it here. Okay. The question is, what is the domain? So be very careful. 1 divided by 0 not defined. So denominator should not be equal to 0. And inside the square root it should not be negative value. So while you combine those two things, denominator should not be equal to 0. So if I put positive value, what happens? If I put 0 or greater than 0, what happens? I am getting 0. Root of 0. Root of 0 is 0. 1 divided by 0, not defined. So I cannot put positive values or 0. Try to understand. I cannot put positive value or 0. What is the reason? If I put 0, 0 minus 0, 0. Root of 0 is 0. 1 divided by 0, not defined. If I put positive values, imagine I put 7. 7 minus 4, 7 is 7. 7 minus 7 is 0. Root of 0 is 0. 1 divided by 0, not defined. So I cannot put positive values. I cannot put 0 or greater than 0 values. Okay. Let us check with negative. I can put negative. For the definition I can put. I am getting 2x. But let us see for the given function I can put or not. Okay. Now if I put negative values, let us see what happens. Imagine I put x equal to minus 3. Okay. So what will I get there is, if I put x equal to minus 3, you see, I get 1 divided by root of minus 3 minus mod of minus 3. What is modulus of minus 3? It becomes plus 3. Right? Minus 3 will be minus 6. 1 divided by root of minus 6. Once again it is not defined. What is the reason? Root of negative value is not defined. Whatever negative number if I put here, if I put negative numbers here, Inside the square root I am going to get negative number. Right? So inside the square root if I get negative number, once again it is not defined. So I cannot put 0, I cannot put positive numbers, I cannot put negative numbers, I cannot put any real number. So it's not R plus, not R minus. So your answer is none of this. Answer is none of this because it's not defined for any real number. I cannot put positive value also, I cannot put negative values also, I cannot put R minus, R plus, not even 0. You understood the reason. If you put negative inside the root, you are going to get negative value. We'll do the 11th one. F of x is equal to x divided by 1 minus x. Okay. The question is to find range. Look here. Whenever you want to find the range, let us solve this so that, see, if you put the values every time, it's not easy actually. If you put x as some positive value, every time you have to check. Instead of that, let us solve and see, okay? Whenever the question is domain, you can easily tell. If the question was domain, this is defined for all real numbers excluding 1. If the question was domain will be all real number minus 1. What happens if I put 1? 1 minus 1 will be 0. Any number divided by 0 is not defined. But the question is range. I have to solve for y, not x. I want the value for y, not x. So what I'll do is, I'll solve this in such a way that here I have y is equal to something in the form of x. I'll solve this in such a way that I get x equal to in the form of y. So that looking at equation, the given function, I can easily make out what value I have to substitute in the place of y. Okay, I want the range for that reason. Look here, let us solve for y. I want I want x equal to something in the form of y. So here I cross multiply. Y into 1 minus x is equal to x. Cross multiply. So y minus y is equal to x. This term I should there. So y is equal to x plus yx. Here you take x outside. So y is equal to, if I take x outside, I'll get 1 plus y. So here, what is x? This will come to the denominator. Y divided by 1 plus y will come to the denominator, and that is x. Now did I get x is equal to in form of y? Right. X is equal to y divided by 1 plus y I got. Here y is equal to the form of x was given, which will help me to get the domain. But the question is to find the range. So I have written in this form. Now I can make out what is the range. What values can I substitute in the place of y? So once again, range or y is what? All real numbers. If it is in this form, I can substitute any real number. But y should not be equal to minus 1. What happens if it is minus 1? Plus 1 minus 1 will become 0. Any number divided by 0 not defined. So any real number excluding minus 1. Any real number excluding minus 1. So options. How can I write this in interval form? Okay, let us see. This is minus infinity. This is plus infinity, and here I have minus 1. Answer if it is given in that way easily you can make out, but options are given in some different way. So all real number excluding one term, excluding one number, which is minus 1. So how can I write this? Minus infinity to minus 1, but here I am using small bracket. It's open interval, not closed interval. Why not closed interval? If I include that closed interval, that minus 1 is included there. That minus 1 should be removed. So it is open interval, not including minus 1. Union, here also. These numbers, all real numbers excluding this 1. So to remove that 1. So once again, minus 1, open interval minus 1 to infinity will be the answer. Option Other problems are easy, you can do. I'll do the 15th one, okay? 12th one, answer is first option. 13th one, answer is second option. 14th one, answer is third option. You can do all those three problems. If you have a doubt, you can clarify. 15th one I'll do, okay? 15th one. We have to find the range of f of x is equal to x divided by 1 plus mod x. Now the question is, can I do this like previous problem? How did I do? Now the question is range. Here I have to find the range. Writing this as y and cross multiplying and writing in terms of x equal to something in terms of y. Can I do that? Here I cannot do. The reason is I have a mod x. Once again confusion. Mod x means sometimes I have to check for negative, sometimes I have to check for positive. So whenever I have mod, I cannot do like previous problem. Previous means just before this which I have done. But that I cannot do. The reason is I have mod x. So easy method is, let us take generally. Okay. What if I put x equal to, looking at the problem you have to make out, in which method we can solve? So if you go like previous method, it's not that easy because you have to check for two cases, that is for positive and negative, so which is very difficult. So let us do it in easy way. So if I put x equal to 0, what will be f of x? 0 divided by 1. 0 divided by 1 plus 0, which will be 0 divided by 1. So f of x will be 0. Okay. What if I put x as greater than 0, positive value if I put. Okay, I put some values and see if I put positive value. Imagine I put 1. What will I get as 1 divided by 1 plus mod 1 is 1 only. So I get 1 by 2. What happens if I put 2? 2 divided by 1 plus 2. So 2 divided by 3. Denominator will be 1 greater than the numerator. Right? So 3 by 4, 4 by 5 and so on. So if you solve this 1 by 2, 2 by 3, the value always lies between 0 and 1. It's always positive and the value will not be greater than 1. It will be 0.5, 0.21, that only you can get. So here I can tell f of x lies between 0 and 1 when x is positive. Now what happens if x is negative? What happens if x is negative? In case I put minus 1, what will I get as minus 1 divided by mod of minus 1 will be plus 1. 1 plus 1 will be 2. Similarly, if I put 2 divided minus 2, if I put minus 2, minus 2 divided by 1 plus mod of minus 2 will be plus 2. 2 plus 1 will be 3, which will be minus 2 by 3. Next will be minus 3 by 4 and so on. Okay, numerator will be minus, denominator will be plus because I have mod. So here if we check the value is not exceeding minus 1. It's between 0 and minus 1. F of x lies between minus 1 and 0. Right? 1 divided by 2, 2 divided. Just denominator is 1 greater than the numerator, greater than that. So looking at this, look at the options now. The value for 0, when x is 0, it is 0. When x is positive, the value is between 0 and 1, but I never got 1. I will not get 1 because denominator is 1 greater than the numerator, so I will never get 1. And here also minus 1 divided by 2, minus 2 divided, 1 greater than once again, denominator is in the same way. So here also the value lies between minus 1 and 0, but it's never minus 1. So I'm not getting minus 1 at all. So the option would be open interval minus 1 to 1. Okay? The values are very close to minus 1 and plus 1, but we never get minus 1 and 1. And 0 is included here only. 0 comes between minus 1 and 1. Remaining those three problems you do by yourself. If you have doubt, you can clarify with me. So thank you. Students, just make a note of this from your Dinesh book, Dinesh publications. From set theory, if you study so much is enough, that is that first chapter includes set theory, relation functions. It includes both first year and second year syllabus. So you just study so many questions from set theory to the coming exam. Okay, make a note of this.
Hello students, good morning to all of you. In today's class, we will discuss a CET paper. It's based on the chapter Laws of Motion. Today, we will discuss a CET paper based on the topic Newton's first law and second laws of motion. Before discussing the paper, we will see the list of the formulas which we use in this particular paper, and the formulas are the first one. So, these three formulas you can see already you have studied in the motion and a straight line. That is called equation of kinematics. The first one, V equal to V naught plus AT. What is V? What is V naught? What is AT? Everything you have studied. That is our first equation. X equal to V naught T plus half AT square is the second equation of kinematics. And the third one is V square equal to V naught square plus 2AX. That is the third equation of kinematics. So all these three equations of kinematics we have to use in this particular paper. Along with this, you should know the expression for the momentum. That is a linear momentum. So, written in a magnitude, and the linear momentum, it is the product of the mass and velocity. Mass into velocity will gives you the linear momentum. Similarly, the magnitude of a force. Force equal to, it is a product of the mass and acceleration. Next, impulse. Impulse is the product of the average force into the time taken. Or we can also prove that the impulse is equal to, it is change in the momentum. And force, that is equal to, it is change in the momentum or rate of change, is the time rate. So rate of change of momentum is nothing but force. So these are the formulas you need to remember. We'll start solving this particular paper. First question. A truck and a car are moving with same velocity. On applying same braking force, both stop covering some distance than before stopping. In CET or in a competitive exams, first question may be numerical based or it is related to concept. First try to understand the question. Then 4 options will be given. Among those 4 options, 1 is the right option, remaining 3 are the distractors. So you have to try to understand first the problem clearly. Then you have to choose the correct option. In the first problem, a truck and a car are moving with the same velocity. The velocity of a mass or velocity of a truck and a car, it is same. On applying the same braking force, which means that the force applied also same, covering some distance then before stopping. Now, truck and car is given. We know that the mass of the truck, it is more than the mass of the car. Same stopping distance. That means we need the relationship between the mass and the distance traveled. We need the relationship between the mass and the distance traveled. Now, how to get the relation between the mass and the distance traveled? To get the relation, look at the equation 3. This is the first one, the second one, and this is the third one. So, first question, we'll make use of the third equation of kinematics and we'll try to get the expression for A. So, V square that is equal to V naught square, this is the final velocity and this is the initial velocity, plus 2AX. So, A can be written as, A is V square minus V naught square divided by 2x. Am I right? Yes. So, A is V square minus V naught square by 2x. We know that F equal to MA. F equal to MA. So, here force is same on the both. That means M is inversely proportional to A. Now, A we can substitute it here. We need the relation, as I said, we need the relationship between the mass and x. Suppose this expression, if we substitute here, we get M is proportional to x, isn't it? Over this. So, here in the denominator, we get V square minus V naught square by 2x. 2x goes to numerator. We need only the relation between M and x. So, M is proportional to x it does. So, M is proportional to x. What does it mean? It means that more the mass, more the distance covered. If the force is same, less the mass, distance covered also will be small. So here, truck and a car, we know that truck mass is more, so it will cover more distance. Then the car, its mass is less, it covers the less distance. Look at the options now. Truck will cover less distance. No, it is a wrong option. Car will cover the less distance. The mass of the car is less, so it covers the less distance. So second one is the right option. Both covers the same distance. It's wrong. None of them. So for the first question, the correct option is second. Second one is the right option for question number 1. Question number 2. A force of 5 Newton is acted on a body of mass 5 gram which is at rest for an interval of 3 seconds. The impulse is, so what is given? Actually for CET, no need to write the given, but while practicing, it's better to first write the given and think about the relevant formula substituted. So here what is given? So given us, for the second question, given us force is given, F is 5 Newton, mass is given, it is 5 gram, which is at rest. It is at rest, that means the initial velocity is 0. The time taken is, time interval is 3 seconds. What we have to calculate? We have to calculate the impulse. So impulse is equal to, it is a force into time. So force into time, that is equal to 5 into 3, answer is 15 Newton second. So the right option for question number 2 is first one. First one is the right option. Next, question number 3. A body is acted upon by a uniform force, then it will have a uniform. We know that according to Newton's second law of motion, force is equal to mass into acceleration. So here F is proportional to uniform force, then it will have a uniform acceleration. So F, for question number 3, F equal to ma, force equal to mass into acceleration. Force is equal to mass into acceleration. So F is proportional to A. So the correct option is the first one. For question number 3, the correct option is first one. Next, question number 4. Question number 4. A scooter of mass 120 kg. So mass of a scooter is 120 kg. Mass is 120 kg. Is moving with a uniform velocity of 108 km per hour. First thing is, here it's given the initial velocity, but it is given in terms of km per hour. We need to convert it into meter per second. So here the initial velocity is given and that is 108 km per hour. The magnitude of the force which is required to stop the vehicle is going to stop. The initial velocity, which means the final velocity is 0. So the final velocity is 0. And the time taken is 10 seconds. So what we have to calculate here? The magnitude of the force we have to calculate. Now how to calculate the magnitude of force from the given data? M is given, V naught and T is given. Think about the relevant formula. So here, F equal to calculate the magnitude of the force, F equal to M into A. M into A. But A is not given. Look at the first equation of kinematics. V equal to V naught plus AT, where A is V minus V naught by T. Isn't it? The same formula will substitute here. M into acceleration from the first equation of kinematics, V minus V naught divided by T. We'll substitute it here. M is 120 into V is 0 minus V naught is, we need to convert, as I said in the beginning, this is in kilometer per hour, we need to convert into meter per second. So how to convert into meter per second? That is 108 into 5 by 18, which is equal to 30 meter per second. So here it is 30 meter per second, or 108 we need to convert into meter per second into 1000 kilometer to meter divided by R to second. It is 60 into 60, 3600. So 108 into 1000 by 3600 also you can. You get the same answer, that is 30 meter per second. So that will substitute it here. 30 divided by time is 10. So simplify this, we get 120 minus 30 by 10. Answer is minus 360. Minus 360 Newton. So here the correct option is, so it is a retarding force. The options are given in terms of magnitude, that is 360 Newton. For question number 4, the correct option is first one is the right option. Next, question number 5. Question number 5. If a force of 250 Newton acts on a body, the momentum acquired is 125 kg meter per second. What is the period for which the force acts on the body? So what is given? Force is given, that is 250 Newton, which is acting on a body. The momentum acquired, it is on the body, and the force is applied on it. Its magnitude is 350 Newton meters, and the momentum is 125 kg meter per second. What is the period for which the force acts on the body? So we know that force is change in momentum by time. Force is equal to delta P by delta T plus or T plus. Now to calculate this T, that is equal to delta P by force. So can be written as F that is equal to change in momentum. Change in momentum by time, or time equal to, we need to calculate the time. What is the period for which? So time period we need to calculate. So time is equal to, let us cross multiply here, change in the momentum by the time. Change in the momentum, 125 minus 0. The time taken also it is given. So no, time taken we have to calculate. So the time equal to, this is delta P divided by F. Delta time is change in momentum by F. So 125 minus 0 is 125 divided by forces 250. 125 by 250, we get 0.57. So the correct option for question number 5 is first one, 0.57. Next, question number 6. The average force necessary to stop a hammer with 25 Newton second, that is the impulse is given, momentum in 0.5 second expressed in N/V. So what is given here? Here they have given I 25 Newton second and the time taken also is given, and you have to calculate the force. So impulse is nothing but it is a change in the momentum, or it is equal to force into time. So here the given things, impulse is given and the time is given. You can calculate the force. So force is equal to, directly I write I've written there. So note down that this is the formula. Thus, force is equal to impulse by time. Impulse by time. That is equal to, impulse is given, it's 25 divided by time is 0.5. Which is equal to 50 Newton. The answer for question number 6 is third one. Third one is the right option. Next, question number 7. A constant force acts on a body of mass 0.9 kg at rest for 10 seconds. If the body moves a distance of 250 meters, the magnitude of force is. So what is given? A constant force acts on a body and the mass of the body is given, that is 0.9 kg. Question number 7. The mass of the body is 0.9 kg. Mass of the body is 0.9 kg. Is at rest. That's why I said you have to read the question carefully. It's given at rest, which means the initial velocity is 0. Initial velocity is 0. And for the time of 10 seconds. If the body moves a distance of 250 meters, so x is 250 meters. The magnitude of force will be. So we need to calculate the magnitude of force. Force equal to m into a. Force is m into a. But have they given a? No. To calculate a, which equation of kinematics we can use? So we cannot use the first one because the time taken also is not given. Time and acceleration to unknown quantities in the first equation of kinematics. So we cannot use. Second one, x is given. So we can use the second one and we can calculate a. Once if we get the value of a, then substitute in this f equal to ma. M is given, a you will get simplified. So first x equal to v naught t plus half at square. Now x is given 250 is equal to v naught is 0. So 0 into 10 is 0 plus half into a we have to calculate into t square, that is 10 square, 100, right? It's 100. So 2 ones are 50, we get 250 is equal to, it is 58 or a is 250 by 50. So we get 5 meter per second square is the acceleration. So as I said, once if we get the acceleration, I'll continue it here. You have to calculate the magnitude of the force. So m is 0.9 into acceleration is 5. 0.9 into 5. Answer is 4.5 Newton. So for question number 7, the right option is 4. The right option for question number 7 is 4th one. Next, question number 8. Question number 8. A particle of mass m elastically strikes a wall at an angle of incidence 60 degrees with the velocity v. The change in the momentum is. What is given? A particle of mass m elastically strikes a wall at an angle of incidence 60 degrees. Wall. This is the normal to the wall. Now, a particle of mass m. A particle of mass m. It strikes a wall at an angle of incidence 60 degrees. So, angle of incidence is 60 degrees. So, this is 60 degree theta. 60 degree. So, here particle elastically strikes angle of incidence 60 degree with the velocity v. So, reflects back with the same velocity v and this is 60. Angle of incidence is given. So, with respect to the normal. So, this is 60 degree. This is also 60 degree. This is the v. Now, the change in the momentum is, we have to calculate the change in the momentum. Now, v, we have studied in the motion of plane, the resolution of a vector. It will be resolved into two components. One is, this is v, its momentum is mv. So, this side can be written as mv cos theta. Theta is 60 degree, that is 60 degree. Similarly, mv sin theta. The two components, rectangular components of v. Similarly, here v the two components are mv cos theta and this is mv sin theta. Now, we have to calculate the change in the momentum. So, change in momentum along the wall. Change in the momentum along the wall. Change in the momentum. So, mv sin theta minus mv sin theta. You can see both are in the same direction and is equal to 0. Similarly, the change in the momentum perpendicular to the wall. That is perpendicular to the wall. See here, the directions are opposite. So this direction, if I consider this is positive, this is in the opposite direction. So this can be written as mv cos theta. This is the change in the momentum, so minus. Direction is opposite, so minus mv cos theta. Alright? Yes. Minus becomes plus, so this becomes 2mv cos theta. This is 2mv cos theta. That is equal to 2mv cos. What is theta? Theta is 60 degree. That is equal to 2mv cos 60 is. What is cos 60? Cos 60 is 1 by root 2. It is 1 by root 2. Sorry, cos 60 is 1 by root 2. 2 cancel out, we get mv. So the correct option for question number 8 is m. So here 2mv cos 60 is 1 by 2. 2 cancel out, we get mv. So question number 8, the right option is first one. Next. Question number 9. An external force is required to keep a body in uniform motion. This statement was given by Youngsteady and that statement is given by Aristotle. So for question number 9, the correct option is first one. Question number 10. 4 forces, each of magnitude 10 Newton, act on 4 bodies A, B, C and D of masses 10 kg, 20 kg, 30 kg and 40 kg respectively. The acceleration is maximum for. What is given? The magnitude of the force is given. F is 10 Newton. A, B, C, D are the 4 bodies of masses. M1 is 10 kg, M2 is 20 kg, M3 is 30 kg, M4 is 40 kg respectively. The acceleration is maximum for. We know that F equal to m into A. Acceleration is F by m. So, they are inversely proportional. That means, acceleration is more, the mass of the body is less. So, here the acceleration is maximum for. Mass of the object should be small and that is 10 kg, it is body A. So the right option is for question number 10, first one. So this relation directly you can. Or else every time the force is same, 10 divided by the first one, 10 by 10, 1 meter per second square. Second one, 10 divided by second mass is 20.5 meter per second square. Again 10 by 30, 10 by 40. You get maximum acceleration is for the body A has a less mass. So the correct option for question number 10 is first one. Next question number 11. A mass m falls freely from rest. The linear momentum after it has fallen through a height h is. What is given? A mass m falls freely from rest. So initial velocity is 0. And what else is given? The linear momentum after it has fallen through the height h. So here we need the linear momentum m into v. So we have to calculate this way. So we can use v square equal to v naught square plus 2g into h, height h. Use the 30 kg. Now v naught is 0, so v equal to square root of 2gh. So we can substitute here, we get p equal to m into root 2gh. So now correct option is fourth one. For question number 11, the right option is m into square root of 2gh. The next one, 2 balls, each of mass 60 gram, moving in opposite direction with a speed of 4 meter per second, collide and rebound with the same speed. The change in the momentum of each ball will be. So what is given? 2 balls each of mass. Question number 12. 2 balls each of mass of the ball is 60 gram, converted into kg, that is 0.06 kg of both the masses are same. They are moving in the opposite direction. They are moving in the opposite direction with a speed of 4 meter per second. 4 meter per second. Even this is also moving at 4 meter per second. They collide. They will collide. They will collide and rebound with the same speed. Now they will rebound after collision. They will rebound with the same speed. The change in the momentum of each ball will be change in the momentum. You know that it's nothing but impulse. Impulse imparted to each other's will be. So now here the mass is same. After the collision also they are moving with the same speed. We have to calculate the change in the momentum or impulse. So change in the momentum, to calculate that, change in momentum is equal to m into u, initial speed, final speed if we consider change, so minus m, first ball if we consider n1 of this, the direction is opposite, so minus b. So this becomes mu plus mp. What is m? M is 0.06 into u is 4 plus 0.06 into 4. Simplify this. 0.06 into 4 is 0.24. 0.24 plus 0.24 is 0.48. Change the momentum kg meter per second, that is 0.48 kg meter per second. So the right option for question number 12 is third. Third one is the right option. Next, question number 13. Question number 13. A ball of mass 150 gram. So 150 gram converted into kg, you will get 0.15 kg. Is moving with an acceleration of 20 meter per second square. Is hit by a force which acts on it for 0.1 second. The ball of mass, the mass is given, it is 0.15 kg. Acceleration is given, acceleration is 20 meter per second square. Time taken is 0.1 second. So the impulse of the force is, how to calculate the impulse? So impulse is force into time. Force is not given, but ma is given. F equal to ma. You can use this equation, you can calculate the impulse. So impulse is force into time. Force is ma. So m is 0.15 into a is 20 into t is 0.1. Simplify this. 0.15 into 20 into 0.1. The answer is 0.3 Newton second. So the right option for question number 13 is third. Third one is the right option. Next, question number 14. Question number 14. A ball is moving with a momentum of 20 kg meter per second, strikes a wall at an angle of 45 degree. It is reflected back at the same angle and same speed. The impulse of the force is nearly. So as we discussed in the previous question, that is question number 8, this problem also same. Because a ball is moving with the momentum. This is a ball, this is a normal. A ball is moving with the momentum. The momentum P is 20 kg meter per second. It makes an angle of 45 degree. Now to see here is not given with the ball, so makes an angle of 45 degree. It is reflected back at the same angle. It is reflected back with the same angle, 45 degree. The impulse of the force is nearly. Impulse is nothing but change in the momentum. So we have to calculate the change in the momentum. To calculate the change in the momentum, as we discussed in the previous question, so we can resolve this momentum into two components. That is, this is 45 degree. So this is mv cos theta or cos 45 degree, and this is mv sin theta. Similarly, this is mv cos theta, and this is mv sin theta. Now, the change in the momentum along the ball. It is mv sin theta minus mv sin theta. To change the momentum along the wall, mv sin theta minus mv sin theta is equal to 0. Similarly, the change in the momentum perpendicular to the wall is mv cos theta, change it is, so minus, this direction is opposite, minus mv cos theta. So this way you get 2 mv cos theta. So 2 mv cos, here the angle is given as 45 degree. So angle theta is given as 45 degree and cos 45 is 1 by root 2. So 2 mv 1 by root 2. mv is given momentum, that is 20. I'll continue here, that is 2 into 20 into 1 by root 2. So 2 can be written as root 2 into root 2. 20, 1 by root 2. So we get 20 into root 2. Root 2 is 1.4 into 20. The answer which comes out to be 28 kg meter per second. The right option for question number 14 is first one. That is answer is 28 kg meter per second. First one is the right option. Next, question number 15. Read the question number 15. A body of mass 5 kg is acted upon by a forces equal to 3 Newton and 4 Newton and mutually perpendicular to each other. The acceleration produced in a body we have to calculate. So what is given? A body of mass 5 kg. A body of mass, this mass is 5 kg. 5 kg acted upon by two forces. So one force, the second force is given that they are mutually perpendicular to each other. So the acceleration is produced. We have to calculate the resultant of this. Now, suppose if we consider this is F1 and this is F2, and you could have considered this is 5 and 1 is 3 and 1 is 4. This is 3 Newton and this is 3 and 4 Newton. So the resultant F, so F equal to the square root of F1 square plus F2 square. That is equal to square root of 3 square plus 4 square. 9 plus 16 is 25. So F is 5 Newton. The resultant force is 5 Newton. Now to calculate the acceleration produced in it. The acceleration is F by m. F is 5, the resultant force, and the mass is 5. The acceleration is 1 meter per second square. So the right option for question number 15 is third. Third one is the right option. Next, question number 16. Question number 16. A body of mass 5 kg starts from rest. So the initial velocity is 0. Moves with a uniform acceleration of 2 meter per second square. Acceleration is 2 meter per second square. The momentum of the body, we have to calculate the momentum of the body at the end of 10 seconds. So time is 10 seconds. Momentum of the body to calculate. So how we can calculate the momentum of the body from the given data? M is given, initial velocity is given, acceleration is given. So F, we need to calculate the momentum. So P equal to M into P. Right? Yes. P equal to M into V. But V is not given. Instead of V, V naught A is. Look at the equation of kinematics. We can calculate V. The first one. V equal to V naught plus A into T. We get V, final velocity. Substitute masses. P equal to M into V. The mass, question number 16. The mass is given. Mass is 5 kg. Mass is 5 kg. Substitute, you get the answer. So here, this is V equal to V naught plus A T. That is equal to 0 plus 2 into 10 plus 20 meter per second. This is the final velocity. So P equal to M into V, P equal to 5 into 20, 100. So option is kg meter per second. The momentum is 100. The right option is first one, 100 kg meter per second. Next, question number 17. A force of 2 Newton needed to accelerate a body to 10 meter per second square to increase the acceleration to 20 meter per second square. The additional force needed is. What is given in question number 17? A force of 2 Newton. F is 2 Newton. Needed to accelerate a body. A1 is 10 meter per second square. To increase the acceleration, A2, it is 20 meter per second square. The additional force which is needed. So we know that the force and acceleration is directly proportional. F1 by F2 equal to, it is A1 by A2. That is equal to 2 divided by F2, that is equal to 10 by 20. So we get F2 equal to 4. F2 equal to 4 Newton. F1 is 2 Newton. The additional force which is needed is 2 Newton. The additional force which is needed is 2 Newton. So the right option for question number 17 is second. Next. Question number 18. A ball strikes a ball with a momentum p and bounces with the same speed. The change in the momentum is, a ball strikes a ball. A ball, it strikes a ball where the momentum is p and bounces back with the same speed. The change in the momentum, this is p. Change in the momentum, direction is opposite minus p. So we have to calculate the change in the momentum. Delta p is the change in the momentum, that is p minus of direction is opposite, so minus p is equal to 2p. So the right option for question number 18 is 4. So that is the right option. Question number 19. A person weighing 1248 Newton goes on a crash diet and in 1 month he weighs 1144 Newton. The change in his inertia is. So here the loss of the weight 1144 Newton minus 1248 Newton. And this is minus 104 is 104 Newton. Now for 1248 Newton loses 1 minus 104 Newton. So here they are asking in terms of percentage. The percentage change in inertia. So the inertia in percentage 100%. So we get 100 into minus 104 divided by 1248. The answer which comes out to be minus 8.3%. It's in terms of percent. This is in terms of percent. Minus which indicates that it has loosened the weight. So therefore that's a minus. So the right option for question number 19. 19 is 4. 4 is the right option. Next, question number 20. A ball of mass 0.1 kg strikes a ball normally with a speed of 30 meter per second and rebounds with a speed of 20 meter per second. The impulse of the force exerted by the ball on the ball is. What is given? You have to calculate the impulse. So impulse is nothing but change in momentum. Impulse is change in the momentum. Change in momentum. Now, a ball of mass is given. This is the ball. Its mass is 1 kg. 0.1 kg. Strikes the ball normally with a speed of 30 meter per second. 30 meter per second. And rebounds back. Collides and it rebounds back. Rebounds back with a speed of 20 meter per second. The impulse of the force exerted by the wall on the ball is. So here, the change in the momentum is the impulse that is equal to m into u, minus, this is a change in the momentum, minus m, there is a change in the direction, opposite direction, so minus v. U is the initial velocity, v is the final velocity. So here this becomes mu plus mv, or m you can take it outside, u plus v. So what is m? M is 0.1 into u is 30 plus m is 0.1 into 20. So 0.1 into 30, 3 plus 2 is. So answer is 5. Answer is 5 Newton second. 5 Newton second is the impulse of the force exerted by the ball on the wall. Next. Question number 21. A body of mass m is acted upon by a force F and the acceleration produced is A. If three forces, each is equal to F, is inclined to each other at 120 degree, act on the same body, then the acceleration produced is B. So you can see here, these are the three forces which are inclined at an angle of 120 degree. So they are equal forces. So three equal forces inclined to each other at an angle of 120 degrees. So they produces the zero resultant force. Because magnitude is same F and F. So this is the resultant using the parallel. Now extend it and you get the resultant as F. And this resultant, if I consider this is R, this is F, the third force. This resultant and the third force, they are equal in the magnitude and opposite in the direction. So we have studied this. It is an equilibrium of three concurrent forces. So the answer is 4. Correct option is 410. Question number 22. Question number 22. What force should be applied on a 5 kg body so that it has a downward acceleration of 5 meter per second square? So what force must be applied on a body? So there is a body and its mass is 5 kg. 5 kg is the mass of this body. Now the different forces acting, that is weight of the body is in the downward direction due to the gravitation mg, and the acceleration is 4 meter per second square and it's a downward acceleration. 4 meter per second square is the acceleration. So this is the weight of this body which is acting in the downward direction. Acceleration in the downward direction is 4 meter per second square. That means the force will be acted on the body in the upward direction. So using F equal to ma, that is m into a, that is equal to mg, then of course mg minus f. What we need to calculate? We need to calculate the magnitude of this force. So F equal to minus F I'll bring it this side. Mg minus ma. So m is taken outside. G minus a. What is m? M is 5. 5 into G is 9.8 minus a is 4. So 5 into 9.8 minus 4. The answer is, we simplify this. The answer which comes out to be 29 Newton. What's the direction? 29 Newton should be applied in the upward direction. So that the acceleration would be 4 meters per second. So the option is 29 Newton. What is the direction? Direction should be in the upward direction. Upward direction. This direction, the force will be acted. So the answer for question number 22 is third one is the right option. Next. Next, question number 23. A body of mass 2 kg moving on a horizontal surface with the initial velocity of 4 meters per second. So initial velocity is given. Initial velocity is 4 meters per second. Initial velocity of 4 meters per second. It comes to rest. Final velocity is 0. It is coming to rest. If one wants to keep this body moving on the same surface with the velocity 4 meters per second, then the force required is, how we can calculate? To calculate the force, what we can do here? That is F equal to m into a. That is equal to m into b minus b naught by t. It is equal to m. Have given m is b1. It is 2 kg. M is 2 kg. So 2 into 0 minus 4 divided by. So what is the time? Time is 2 seconds. Time is 2 seconds by 2. So we get the magnitude of forces 4 Newton. The right option for question number 23 is second. Next, question number 24. Two bodies having masses in a ratio of 1:2 possess equal momentum. The ratio of their velocities are, what is given? Two bodies having the masses in a ratio m1:2 m2, that is equal to, the ratio is 1:2. Possess an equal momentum, the ratio of their velocity. So B equal to m1 v1 is equal to m2 v2. So now we need the ratio of their velocity, that is v1 by v2. v1 by v2 is m2 by m1. That is equal to, so m2 and m1 ratio is given 2 by 1. The right option for question number 24 is 2:1. Ratio of the velocity v1 by v2 is 2:1. So for question number 24, the right option is 4:1. Right option is 4:1. Next, question number 25. Question number 25. A man drops an apple in the lift. He finds that the apple remains stationary and it does not fall. This lift is going. So what is given? Apple. So the forces which is acting in the weight downward and pseudo force which is acting in the upward direction. So what is the pseudo force? It's an imaginary force which is acting on the apple due to the acceleration of the lift. So here the apple is inside the lift. This W equal to mg is in the downward direction, the pseudo force in the upward direction. So because of this, the apple remains stationary. So the lift going. So how the lift goes? Lift moving in the downward direction with a constant acceleration. So because constant acceleration A equal to g, that acceleration, the lift is going downward direction. So the right option for question number 25 is 4. Question number 26. Two stones of masses are in the ratio 3:4. Fall from a height in a ratio 4:9. The ratio of their momentum on reaching the ground is. The ratio of momentum P1 by P2 is equal to M1 V1 by M2 V2. Right? P equal to M2. So P1 is M1 V1, P2 is M2 V2. So what is given here? The ratio of the masses are given. That is M1 by M2 is given. It is 3 by 4. And the ratio of the height is also given. H1 by H2 is 4 by 9. The ratio of their momentum. So here M1 V is given that initially it's at a particular height, initial velocity is 0. So V can be written in terms of height. That is square root of 2gh. So square root of 2gh1 by m2 into square root of 2gh2. So 2g cancel out root. So the remaining is m1 by m2 3 by 4 into root of 4 by 9. This is equal to 3 by 4 into by 8. So 1 by 2. The right option for question number 26 is second. Second one is the right option.